Good evening. Welcome to Pain to Power Leading with Love. I am your host, Maria, also known as Brown Girl Interrupting. And today we got a little bit of a change in our conversation. We're talking about pain and power, but it's going to be a little different. My special guest today is actually one of my fellow queens from the Ranters Network, and I'm excited to be introducing her in just a few minutes. It is Redemption Song 76, also known as Nisi. But before I bring Nisi on, I recently wrote a post called Liberation is Letting Go, and a lot of our conversation is kind of connecting to that, but all of it connects back to this idea of empathy and the importance of empathy. So I quote Brene Brown a lot because I really do think that there's a lot of things that she talks about when it comes to vulnerability and emotional intelligence that helps me to get a better understanding of myself, and I hope for others to get a better understanding of themselves as well. So she says, empathy is a strange and powerful thing. There's no script, there's no right way or wrong way to do it. It's simply listening, holding space without judgment, emotionally connecting, and communicating that incredibly healing message of you're not alone. Brene Brown. And that's it. I think that to me, honestly, sums up why I have this show. It's called Pain to Power because I believe that none of us is alone. And that as we hear other people's stories of their own healing, we are able to get a better sense of what we need to do to heal ourselves, or just also just that affirmation that what we're going through is real, and it happens to a lot of people, even if it happens in different ways, and that we can all hopefully heal together. So let's have empathy. That's our goal today. So without any further ado, I am going to introduce my amazing kind of co-host, I would say, in this conversation. We're going to have a dialogue on pain to power and leading with love with Nisi, also known as Redemption Song 76.
So, Maria, thank you for having me on, fellow queen ranter or ranting queen.
Right, ranting queen. That's a good one. I love it. Well, thanks for coming on. Again, so before we actually get into the conversation, you are a ranting queen. I don't know if everybody knows everything about what you're doing on the network. So, do you want to tell a little bit about your podcast, Reading Ranters, and just some of the stuff that you've been doing?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ja. Salute to the queen ranters.
The Queen Ranters. Yes.
So yes, along with Ja Logic, aka Mr. M, I am a co-executive producer of the iRant Network. In addition to that, I definitely want to shout out my partner, the lovely Kalila, who is a part of the Reading Ranters. That is the program that we have on iRant Network. But yeah, and hey, definitely, shouting you out as well in any capacity, because I love your platform. I love what you provide. It's a gift. It's a gift.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That warms my heart because I feed off of other people's energy, and the fact that you're watching, you're supporting, and I know you always are, and you're always in the chat, and I love it. So to have you on this side of the screen is pretty cool. And I mean, but honestly, I truly appreciate the way that you pull up and you support. And I feel like you always challenge me with your questions and your thoughts. And so I'm growing and learning. And definitely, you have to check out the Reading Ranters. Nisi is not selling herself as hard as I will sell her for you, which is that she's brilliant. Her and Kalila have great questions. They have amazing guests. And it's just really cool, dope authors. Honestly, the reason you saw Casey Gain last week was because of Nisi and Kalila bringing him to their show. So I am learning and growing from this network. And I have to say, I know that we are two queens today, but there are so many queens on this network. I got to give a big shout out to all of them. I can't name them all, but I know that there are some amazing women who are, Josh says, two of the most supportive on the same panel right now. And I mean, come on now, we love Ja. Ja is
Indeed. Indeed.
Ja is amazing
Indeed.
and always supporting and helping us grow. So, we work together. It's a family, right? It's a family. All right, so family. What's up,
Tennessee.
Tennessee? Salute. We are so glad you pulled up. Always, our iRant network comes and supports, and we love it. So today we are going casual. We're having just like a real open conversation here. So, okay, so fam, salute to you today, Nisi. And we're going to start off with a little warm up, okay? So
Okay.
my daughter and I, and yes, Reading Ranted is a great initiative. And we're actually going to talk a little bit more about the Reading Ranters later in a few moments because I want to know more about Reading Ranters for sure. But before we do, my daughter has started this new game with me called Would You Rather. Have you ever played it before?
I haven't, but I pretty much get how to play it. I'm a
All right.
little
So
scared.
depending on, okay, I mean, look, I'm gonna go easy with you. It won't be hard. It won't be too stressful because all the other questions will become. So this is my softballing before we get to something a little bit more intense in a few moments, right?
Okay.
No, it's gonna be good. I swear. I am not putting you on the hot seat. This is just a good conversation with two queens of the
Absolutely.
ranters. We're ranting queens, queens who rant, all of it above. All right. So first question.
Okay.
Would you rather have a personal maid or a personal chef?
I consider myself a pretty decent cook, so therefore I would go with the maid.
Hmm. I like that.
I would still want to cook.
See, I get that. I get that. And honestly, I was thinking when I asked it, I was like, I think I know Nisi's answer already. I was thinking, because she's a phenomenal cook with many different types of foods. I love the experimental parts of it as well. If you want some holistic medicinal foods are also good to have
Indeed.
so lots of different ranges. All right. Okay, wait. So I think I saw you collecting, getting ready to ask me one.
I am deeply searching. So yep, here we go. Um, let's see here. Would you rather be forced to sing along or dance to every single song you hear?
Mm. Oh, it's got to be dance. Because one, I can't guarantee I'd be able to sing along to most of the songs I hear. Like I can tell you this because yesterday I went to trap karaoke and there was many songs I did not know how to sing along to. So I can for sure tell you that. However, I could pretty much dance to most things. So I would go with I would dance. I would dance.
I hear you.
What's your answer? What would you
I,
say?
I would say the same in lieu of lyrics. You just dance. I mean, seriously, how many songs do we listen to that we don't even know the lyrics to, but the beat is hard, and you just like, come on.
Yes. Yes, right? And that's what it is. The universal part of music is like the beat most of the time, right? It's not the lyrics always, right? It's usually the
Right.
beat. Which is pretty cool. All right. So we got some would you rathers out there.
Okay.
I want to know a little bit more about Reading Ranchers actually before we get into our whole pain to power conversation. So what started Reading Ranchers for you? So you've had how many episodes now?
I believe it's
Three.
three.
Three
Yes.
episodes?
Yes.
And so what made you start your show?
Just out of a love given from the Ranters Union chat. Everybody sort of really corralled and were like, yeah, we do have an interest in reading. And I was thinking, hey, well, why don't we do a book club? And it kind of birthed itself from there. And Kalila had a shared interest and agreed to sort of sign on. And we went from there, starting with Casey. And Casey really kind of was the impetus to a certain degree
Mm,
too, because wanting to delve into his book, wanting to support him. Most of the ranters that are on the platform, I try to support in some way. So definitely supporting him and reading the book and being like, okay, I'd like to figure this out further. And hey, he signed on to that first episode, and which we were appreciative for. And then the second, Pioneer the Poet. Like, how awesome was that though? She's
Oh my gosh.
phenomenal work of poetry. And then, most recently, General Steele. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm mind blown by that, actually. Yeah.
Well,
Just,
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
but yeah, I'm mind blown by that, and very appreciative for his time and actually, breaking down, you know, and dropping some really good gems. I think that was a great episode.
Oh, definitely, right? And that's what I love about it is that I know, like you said, I started like you wanted it to be like just people like learning about the books, right? Like,
Right.
but in fact, like what you learn about though is the stories behind the books, right? Like, and that's the beauty of a podcast like that. Like, I love it because yeah, like you said, recently your most recent one was definitely like digging into the layers of like what initiated him to even write. And it was just like was really cool. Like I learned so much from him, and definitely with Pioneer the Poet, her story and her pain, and also how she's healed through it came through. So to me, I think it's another form. It's pain to power. It's like right, like I think honestly, pain to power is all over this network in my mind, right?
Absolutely. And love your platform for that too. It's very authentic and very raw in that respect too.
Thank you. I
I love
appreciate
love it.
that.
Love
And so yeah, like I mean, authentic is definitely something I live. I don't know. I mean, raw, I guess yes too, right? Like I'm an interrupter because I would say that one of the things that I've learned about in my life in the last like 2 years probably is just being so authentically me that literally like I will say whatever the hell comes to mind, wherever the hell it comes to mind. And that's not something I've done all my life. Like I definitely shied away from it for a really long time, or thought that I didn't have a voice for a long time. So it's been big. But so I wrote a post this week, in fact. Speaking of which, called "Liberation is Letting Go." I am having some mad, crazy like headphone issues, so I apologize. I keep messing with my ears for that reason, just so you know. Um, but so I wrote a post. Liberation is letting go. I don't know if you had a chance to read it yet, Nisi.
Let's read along.
Yeah, just it's quick. It isn't too long. I know some of my posts can be long, but it isn't too long. But honestly, like for me, it was my story of this idea, right? Of like kind of like this piece of healing that I've recently realized, which is that I've liberated myself from pain in some ways by letting go of a lot of things, letting go of expectations, letting go of expecting outcomes, letting go of controlling people, letting go of even kind of hope for things, but rather just having faith that whatever's going to happen is going to happen. It's going to happen the way it's supposed to. And it's been like a piece of my healing and my own process. But kind of like I was wondering for you, right? That's my story, right? That's it. Thank you. It's Liberation is Letting Go. I actually have recently on Instagram, make sure you go follow me on Instagram. I've posted a couple of excerpts from it that kind of capture the essence of what I'm saying in this post. But definitely go check it out. Liberation is letting go because that's how I look at it. But so for you, Nisi, right? Like when you think back to a time in your life, this was kind of a heartbreak thing. But I will say that my heartbreak was in a lot of different places. It wasn't just romantic, it was also my children. It was also just some things happening in my life, right? Like heartbreak of just kind of experiences, even, right? Um, when you think about your own experiences of heartbreak, um, in relation to others, whether it's romantic or not romantic, what are the things that like have gotten you to heal through those things? What's up? Salute to Steph Got Jokes. Salute. Glad to see you pull up and support.
Because I also have anxiety, I hold on to things. And that's a really it tends to be a sticking point. So, I've always been told to redirect my thoughts. And then I find that by doing so, that's helpful. I also find that acts of kindness
Mm.
sort of really, really seeing someone else smile or doing something to at least lighten, you know, a darker place when you're kind of going through something like heartbreak.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
that that's what it enables me to sort of rebound from those things.
I love
Acts
that.
of
Those are really.
kindness, really acts of kindness. If I'm kind to someone else, it kind of lifts the mood.
So is it almost that it takes it away from you? Is that like, is it a transference of pain to some extent?
Possibly, possibly.
That's interesting.
I
No,
never
and
really thought of it in that manner either.
but I love that. That's just beautiful. And I see, oh, what's up,
Hello,
J58 kicking the door show. Peace.
Jay.
What is the vibes, people? Good evening, chat and ladies. The vibes is I got Nisi here, and we are ranting queens talking about healing and just what we've gone through. So 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 as you've done that, like when you've had heartbreak. I don't know how much you want to tell me about your heartbreak, but if you're
Mhm.
willing to open up a little bit, and talk, and you don't have to give specifics, there's no specifics, but I want to know, like, for me, right? Like, I think it's interesting because I think when people say that, it's like the assumption is, oh, it happens quick, right? Like, oh, okay, so now I just shift my thoughts and I'm like, I'm good, right? But it's this slow burn, and it is a burn, right? And it's a slow process, but like, what did you like? How did you kind of approach that process, even when it comes to like doing things for others? Like, was there like kind of like a build up to it where you could release more of your pain of the heartbreak by doing more things?
I think you nailed it just in what you said, and that it was literally just that. Now that I think about it, it's more of one of those you feel good situations. What's my quickest route to feeling good? And that would
Mm,
be to convey kindness on someone else when you're in a rough spot.
I love that. That's good, but then
I
we
really
also have to
feel
take
that way.
care of ourselves too, right?
Right.
So when you think about that, like the other piece of healing, right? That's one thing, and that's one piece of healing. And I would say I probably do the same thing. Like, part for me. What's up, Virginia
Well,
Slim? Welcome, salute. I love it. It's so nice to see so many of our Ranters Union family showing up and supporting. Um, so so when you're thinking about like this idea of doing for others and it giving you happiness, like I would say it's interesting that you said that, because I think for me, like the show honestly was that for me. It was like, I need to take this pain that I'm feeling and like push it some, like, it's not about my pain, it should be about someone else's pain, right? And not just their pain, but like how they came to power with it, right?
right.
That's what started my show to begin with, right?
But
So
is
like,
that not an act of service by helping others?
it's
They
exactly
they
that, right? But so the interesting thing for me though is that I
and
thought that was going to be like, okay, this is good. Like, look, I'm good. I'm creating something and it's helping others, and it's it's taking, I'm not thinking about my pain anymore. But for me, it was like, okay, yeah. But then when I start thinking about my pain, it still really hurts, right? Like, so
right.
it wasn't actually, it didn't heal me. Like, it didn't actually do the job to do the things I needed to do for myself. So, like, I'm wondering for you, like, what are the things that you have done for yourself in addition to that, that have taken your healing to another place of like peace? So, there's giving to others, right? But then there's those pieces of what we give to ourselves.
Mhm. Um, Yoga and meditation.
Mm.
Um, Trying my best to quiet my mind, which is still a problem with meditation, but nonetheless, it's been greatly beneficial on so many levels. Not only from heartbreak, but from grieving a loss, um,
Mm.
and working towards my therapeutic yoga instructor certification. Towards that end, I mean, learning that has helped me a great deal. a great deal. So
That's awesome. Wait,
it may
so
be
did
so cheesy, but yeah, yoga and meditation.
but it's not. Like, I think everything you just said is that it's how you take it. Like, some people, yoga is where, rocking your Lululemons and that's it. Like, I don't know. I don't have any of those. But I think like it's how you see it, right? Is it something that's meaningful for you? And it sounds like obviously it was meaningful for you. What made you go from just being in a yoga class to becoming a yoga instructor? Like, what was that catalyst for you?
I always anything that I'm sort of interested in, if there's like a certification or something that's attached to it, honestly, if I'm going to take the time to learn and go to yoga classes, why not? That's kind of how I viewed it. It was like, yeah, I really want to get into this and I really want to learn it.
Mhm.
And if I'm putting my all into learning it, then, why not have that extra extension of that learning to include, becoming a certified yoga instructor. So, and
I love
providing
that.
that service, providing that therapeutic service.
And Joss says she's gonna master anything she learns. I would agree with you. I would definitely say that because from just meeting her and the things that she's learned and mastered, or like that I heard the list of, like, and you just said if I can get a certification in it, I'll get it. So let's go there. What other certifications do you have, Nisi? Like,
I have 2 raw food certifications. I have a natural, what is it? From Natural Kitchen Cooking School, vegetarian culinary certification, and a holistic health counselor.
right? It
I
is
was
a good
like,
question
okay,
because her list is long.
if I'm interested in it and I'm gonna take some time to figure out the raw foods cuisine, why not? So it was just that's where it went.
But I love that. To me, it's such a good example of like leading with love too, right? Because it's like it seems to me like when I talk to you, I'm like, it's not enough just to be experiencing it. Like, you're like, how do I get the knowledge to now help others experience it, right? Like, so your
Right.
certifications all are to share the knowledge with other people, which is really cool. And I think just, again, a really good example of just all the different ways that like you're capturing and saying like that you are healing and taking care of yourself, but like it really is in service to others, like so
Mhm.
actively, which is really cool. um all right, so Jazz says it does feel good to help others when you need help. That's a good point. We need Trinity to break down when it's good to do and when it's unhealthy. That's very true. Make that a Better Minds Interrupting episode next season. That's actually a really good one, right? Okay, so I mean, we don't have Trini here. Oh, what's
Hi,
up, Jersey
Jersey Jen.
Jen? Thanks for pulling up. I love it. More queens. Look, another queen from the network. I love it. Um, so Job put up that question, and it's a really good question. But what do you think? Like, what, we don't have Trini's spiritual background, but I'm sure we could throw in our thoughts on that. Like, when is it not beneficial? Like, when is it dangerous or harmful, you think, to help others, and when is it okay to help others for you? Like, in your own experiences, what have you felt?
Is it dangerous to help others?
Or like harmful?
When you're not giving with good intention.
Mm. Tell me more about that. Like, what does that mean to you?
When you have a nefarious reason for doing so. When I say, I'd like to feel, I'd like to give, to sort of break down that wall of not feeling that great. It's not just to say, hey, I want a pat on the shoulder. I'm actually giving because I want to. Do you
Mm.
understand the difference? Some people do it for a pat on the shoulder, or a pat on the back or whatever, or what have you. And genuinely doing things makes me feel good.
That makes sense. But it's without expectation.
Right.
You're not expecting anything back. You're simply just doing to do.
Right.
And that is so much healthier, right? Than when you have an expectation. I would also add, I think for me, like it's when someone, it's not good to give. Like, I've given too much when I feel like and it's not even about reciprocation. I think it's when your energy is taken from you and you don't have it replenished back with people. So I don't know if it's as simple as reciprocation. I think it's more than that, right? Because energy doesn't always have to be that like someone equally reciprocates things for you, but that there's just an effort to make you feel like they make some like that it's valued. It doesn't
Right.
have to be I think for me, and maybe I'm not as magnanimous as you. Like it's very possible. It's very possible. I have 4 children. I'm a little bit more selfish in life sometimes, I think, right? Like I have to fight for my time. But I think it is like that energy thing. I see Jersey Jen has a comment. She says, I don't know how to say no, even when it's good for them, but not for my well being emotionally or etc. I agree. Like, so that's the thing, right? Like, not saying no, like, it's actually necessary to say no sometimes.
Yes. Yes. And I do say no. I
Is
definitely
it
say
hard for you?
at times, perhaps.
Hmm.
At times, perhaps. But more often than not, not necessarily. Yeah. Yeah.
What
It's more
makes it
bad on
hard
that
when
one.
it is hard?
Hmm.
What makes it hard when it is hard for you?
Sometimes the sheer act of saying no.
Mm. Just the word itself, like, is a different.
Right. Right.
That's
When
interesting.
you want the best, outcome of the situation for someone, however, that you're just not best suited for it, or you'd rather not participate, or whatever it might be. The very act of saying no sometimes is a little bit difficult.
Yeah. And you know what? That is I love that you said that. I was thinking of there was an interview with Whiskey Girl. I think you were in the chat when you said it, but she said that she is like loving saying no for the first time. And she talked about it so many times. I was like, I didn't even think about but the dichotomy of that, right? Like it's really hard to say it, but then it's also like so liberating to say it. Like it's like when is it that you choose which one, right? The liberation or you don't want to go through that pain of saying it, right? That's true. She did say that. She did. She did. It was a great
Whiskey Girl.
moment. She was like, "I'm
Yeah,
loving saying." I wish I could quote her exactly, but it was a great moment. The way she did it was very dramatic and beautiful, and like
that's what I was getting
everything.
ready to say. I was like, Whiskey Girl is so cool that it has to be the flyest no ever. Like, oh
Oh, it was. It
no.
was the flies. No, I will have to find that clip. That was a great impression, BG. Thank you. I aim to please. Wait, there was another comment you had. You said, "Oh, it can be dangerous to help self-destructive people." Oh, like Selena. That was a dark question, but I think that's the thing. Like I think, well, you brought it up first of all, John. Let's be clear.
Like, I'm just
but
about myself in
but
this one.
I think though it's important to recognize that, right? Because all of this for me goes into like self-help and like finding ourselves, right? So like going to that, what how do you maintain a relationship with yourself? Like if you thought about that, what's your relationship with yourself? How do you kind of maintain your own relationship with yourself? You made it dark when saying it is dangerous. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's true. But it is, and it can be.
Okay. I was reading Slim's comment. Hey, Slim. Anyway, your question was again. Run that back. I'm sorry.
All right. So first I'm going to read Slim's comment, then I'm going to ask my question
Okay.
again,
Hmm.
definitely. So some people help because they think it's the right thing to do, but on the inside they don't get any enjoyment from it. Oh, that's a good point too.
That is
I could
true.
definitely remember some of those moments. And Jersey Jen says some will take advantage of people who they know will give the shirt off their back. That's it, right? Like
Absolutely, Jersey Jen. Absolutely.
you got to monitor. You really have to be discerning, especially if you're one of those people who likes to give. It's like, who do I give to? Like, and that's been a learning lesson for me for sure. That's important to surround yourself that will pour into you as well. That's a good point, especially when you're a poor. Yes, LOL
Very
at the
true, job.
poorers.
Very true.
Yes, yes. People need to hear no more than yes in in my I don't know what IMO means. What does IMO mean?
In my opinion.
In my opinion, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Virginia Slim. People need to hear no more than yes, in my opinion. Shit isn't always sweet. That's for sure. They do need to hear no. Like, right? Like even our kid, like that's how we teach our kids, right? It's like, no, you don't get everything. Like, no, life doesn't always work out for you. I think I actually was at a birthday party yesterday and I heard this guy tell his daughter, she must have been like a 5-year-old or something, and she was like, I'm not gonna eat this anymore. I want this now. And he was like, well, you're just going to have to learn in life that you don't get to just change your mind just because, right? Like that's a no moment, right? No, you don't get to
Right.
just change your mind and decide you don't want this pizza, you want that pizza. Like, but we say it to kids with ease. We don't say it to adults as easily.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
Which I've always, what is it about that? But that's why it comes to me is like, well, what is it about that? I'm always like, why is it? Like, are we fearful of hurting people's feelings? Are we worried that we're gonna look like we're selfish? Like that's
Right.
something I've always worried about. It's like if I don't do something for someone, then that means that I'm selfish.
But there's always that pause to reflect. Yes or no. Where am I gonna go?
Yes, and that's your meditation moment, isn't it? Right? Like I think for me, that's my meditation moment, right?
Absolutely.
Where am I gonna go? And what's the right decision for me? Because no might be the right decision. It can be awkward to say no. That's very true. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna come back to my question. So my question
Okay.
is, we're just all over the place, but that's okay. We're good. We're good. We're having a
Mhm.
good conversation. No, we're good. We're good. So how do you maintain a relationship with yourself? You talked about meditation.
It really kind of goes back to yoga and meditation. That is my reflective time. It's hard for me to quiet my mind in a lot of ways. So when I have that time, it's definitely that definitely would be it. That would be it. That's my form of loving on myself.
Mm. That's a beautiful thing. And that relationship with self is just that, right? Loving on myself. I like that
Yeah.
you said that. I don't think we do that enough, especially as women. Women don't love on themselves enough at all. Men
No.
seem to have it a little bit easier thinking that. Like they're happy to be like, yeah, I'm the best. But Jersey Jen says, did yoga and it was amazing. Just had to stop because of accident and my stress on my back up to 10. Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry. It is. I will say I did it for a little bit. I have a hard time maintaining physical activities. I'll be honest. I mean, some physical activities. I'll put that out there. But like most exercise activities, I am not good at. I'm sorry. I had to go there. Sorry. It's an intimate conversation. That's what we
it is
do.
what it is. You're fine.
Is it healthy to talk to yourself? So Josh says, is it healthy to talk to yourself? I was raised to think it's crazy, but now I'm hearing different. I think it's totally healthy to talk to
I
yourself. What do you
talk to
think, Nancy?
myself. It's when you respond.
Oh, wait, we can't do that. I respond too. Oh my
Oh, wow.
God.
I afford you grace in that moment. However, I'm just saying, I might look at you, I look away, and hey, she's
I mean, okay,
responding.
so not in public, FYI, not in public. However, I have because here's the thing, right? Like I'll talk to myself because I feel like I'm kind of having a dialogue with myself. So if I'm doing it in the mirror, it's like I'm responding to myself in the mirror too. So I am sort of like, yeah, I'm having a conversation with myself.
Affirming yourself.
Say again.
I said affirming yourself in some manner. Hey.
Oh, totally affirming myself because that's why we talk to ourselves sometimes is to affirm. But I will say not always. Sometimes it's to call myself out. Like I will look at myself and be like, look, I know you think that was the right thing to do. But let's be honest. Your ego got in the damn way right now, right?
You had to reflect. Good.
Yes, I had to reflect. Jersey Jet says, Ja, please don't talk to yourself out loud in public. LOL. If I got into talking to myself, I would be loud about it. Jersey Jen. I mean, so am I the only one who responds back to herself?
I mean, I may have on occasion responded to myself, but it's very infrequent. But there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it.
No judgment, empathy, right? We all have
No
different ways of
judgment.
doing things, right? That's
Yes.
that's it. That's it for sure. Virginia Slim says, I tried that hot yoga, never again. I was sweating like I was in the bottom of the Amistad. Y'all can have it. Yo, Virginia Slim, I agree. That shit was like, what?
Um,
What? Look, you got me in all these positions and you want me to sweat my ass off? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't. Like,
Therapeutic yoga has several modifications, so therefore, definitely check that out if you ever want to give yoga a spin again.
so what is it
But
about the hot yoga though that makes it so beneficial?
you're sweating out your toxins. You're stretching your limbs, all of that good stuff. But I'm not going to do it because, much like Virginia Slim, I don't want to feel like I'm at the bottom of the Amistad either.
Right.
That's not
Yeah.
the way for me. So therefore, and that's bad tongue in cheek. However, yeah, definitely check out therapeutic yoga if you are, and especially Jersey Jen. If you're recovering from any sort of injury, it's something that can be done at your pace. You even modify it in a chair, however you need to. Just movement. Movement is good.
That's true. That's very true. And I think the nice thing about yoga is that definitely it's adaptable to all levels and all body, like whatever your body is
Absolutely.
experiencing. And it is beneficial. Like there's so many things like when you have pain, actually yoga is the way to recover from it.
Right. And if anybody ever gets a chance, just because I'm gonna do my little book nerd situation here, but Jessamine Stanley is a yogi, and she just, as far as inclusivity is concerned, she's bomb. She's bomb. So anybody, definitely Google her, check her out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I think she's amazing.
I love it. I don't know. We can put it in
Beautiful
the chat if we
plus
can put it
size
in
figure.
a link in there. I can't even do
Beautiful plus
downward
size
dog shoulder
sister.
injury. Believe me, I tried until I couldn't handle the pain. Oh, I'm sorry, Jersey Jen, but it sounds like maybe Nisi can connect you with some things to help you out with that, hopefully. So definitely
Yeah.
follow her on if you haven't yet, and learn more about yoga. Okay, so I have one last yoga question because I'm always curious to know. How do you feel about animals in your yoga practice? Because that's a new thing. Goats, bunnies, this is a thing people do. What are your
I
thoughts on that?
I think it's I think it could be perceived as extra. However, part of my yoga training has been by Zoom, and you'd be amazed how many times my little Pepper likes to join me. He does. He does. He's not going to be doing downward dog or anything like that, but when I would meditate, he'd lay next to me.
Aww.
He does. So maybe they get their
That
essence from
seems
the
a little
universe, however they get it.
that seems a little less invasive than a goat trampling your back while you're doing like
Not here.
downward facing dog.
I want to afford grace in that moment, because maybe, that could be someone's emotional support yoga animal of some sort. And however, you get that support,
I
that works
appreciate
out for
that.
you. Hey, go with it.
And you know what, your kind soul just brought me back to
You're
being a little
cute.
bit. I just am imagining what they smell like. I'll be honest. Like I can't. I know what goats smell like. They don't smell cute at
No.
all. Like they don't. Like, but look, like you checked my ego a little bit, and yes, for sure. Like I will offer grace as well in recognizing that everybody has a reason for doing the things they do and how they do it. So yes.
Here's a wild thing. I probably would do that. I would probably try that, honestly.
All right, so Virginia Slim, what the fuck? Okay, Virginia Slim, at least you're with me, because I'm
It's
like,
an emotional support
no.
animal, perhaps.
I don't know. They're strange animals. I don't know these animals. Like at least like an emotional support. Like you have some kind of relationship with them. Like to me, it's like no. Jazz says now they took it too far. Look, and these are baby goats, but I've seen it with big goats. Like they do real big ass goats too. It's not just baby goats. Which are they called baby goats? No, they have another name. I don't know what they're called. Goatlings?
I'm not up on goats. I don't know.
No idea. Oh, kids. Aren't they kids?
Are they?
I think they're called kids because my mom used to say don't use the word kids because you're talking about goats. I do remember that. That's a weird thing.
Thank you.
It is kids, right?
Yeah.
See, I know this because my immigrant mother used to be like, with her English background, was like, nope, can't say that. You have to say children, not kids. So, okay. All right, let's get back to some real stuff.
That's getting rubbed in right there. It's kind of like, you have time to change that statement. Like, do you really want that on you? I don't know. Hey, you only live once. Emotional support. You get it where you get it.
Emotional support.
That is a little too much right there, bro. Right there.
I mean, like, it's in her butt crack. Like, I can't. I don't know. I mean, I'm just, okay. I'm the hood. We got Pitfall Yoga trying to do a downward dog with Cujo on the ass. Jersey John says, yes, that type of video I've seen. Shit, spit, and kick. Hard pass, LOL.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they be licking you and stuff. Like, who knows what they're gonna lick and stuff. Look, if that is your form of therapy, I respect it. I just respectfully decline, is what I will say.
And not one person of color present.
Yeah, and that was kind of my other thing. I think like it seems like it tends to be more frequented by white yogis than I will say any other race that I've ever seen.
That's wild.
Goat yoga, the goats of yoga.
Oh, yeah. I should have reserved my judgment.
Jersey Jen says, I see no color in that clip. And Jersey Jen, I will say, I have never seen any color in any of those moments that I've ever seen of goat yoga. I mean, it's just maybe, maybe different strokes for different folks. That's all it is.
Different goats for different folks.
Different goats for different. Yes.
That's so hard. Yeah. Ooh.
All right. Okay. I got another question for you.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go to a commercial real quick, and then we're gonna sum up our whole conversation. This has been fun. I hope you're having fun. I'm having a great time.
I'm having a great time. Like,
and look, we got a lit audience here. Jersey Jen, Virginia Slim, they're giving us some good one-liners. Jaws in here telling us it's good. It's good. It's all good. Thank you for those of you pulling up. We appreciate you. And for those of you who are watching this as a rebroadcast, make sure you are following Redemption Song 76. And we had a conversation about the pointing situation earlier today.
Yeah,
I'm just going to do this. Follow Redemption Song 76 on Instagram. Go to Reading Ranters. Make sure you are watching it and following it on. It's on the.
Actually, we're the Reading Ranters on both IG and Facebook. Definitely check us out. Definitely check out the Ranters Union. And I am actually Pretty Liddy 76 on IG.
Love it.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. As I said, I just wrote a post called Liberation is Letting Go. And that is what I've been doing, letting go by liberating myself from beliefs that have just not served me. But there's a lot more to my story and how I started writing. Take a moment, watch my little ad here, and we'll be back in a minute. Hi, my name is Maria. But you are soon going to know me as Brown Girl Interrupting. And what I mean by that is that very soon, hopefully, you're going to be following my blog. I am a writer, and I started writing because I was married I had children, and then my life changed when I separated, and I did a lot of learning and reflecting and growing in that process of change, because change always leads us to that. And I've decided to share that with the rest of the world, because sometimes hearing that someone else is going through the same thing as you, or understanding and putting words to the feelings and experiences we're having, helps us to heal from them, or grow from them, or learn from them. And so that's what my blog is. It's writing about life, healing, relationships, parenting, dating, marriage, pain, love, mistakes, growth, and coming out whole still in all of it as a human, flawed, but always open to new things. So that's my life, that's my journey, and it's written in this blog. But my hope is that you are going to go to www.browngirlinterrupting.com and join and subscribe to the blog and read all about my story to help you maybe gain some perspective on yours. All right. So definitely please go to the website, www.browngirlinterrupting.com. It is all linked down here in the description, and it's on my IG page, on my TikTok page. And I mean, go and subscribe, put your email in, because I am writing a lot more than I have been in a long time. And part of that is because I'm in this chapter of liberation and peace. That's my new chapter of life. And it's coming with a lot of reflection, but a lot of growth, I think, from a year ago, or really 2 years ago when I started this blog. So go check it out. But one of the things is that has come up for me, that I wrote this post, Liberation is Letting Go, is that I kind of came to this realization in the last, I would say, like 8-9 months, about this truth of life. And my truth is that I realize that when I try to control things and people, and when I say control, I don't mean like manipulation control. For me, control means like wanting and trying to kind of like put everything in the path to make the thing that I want to happen, which works really well when it comes to my professional things or my creative things, right? Because okay, so like I have a vision, I'm a visionary, but like you can't be a visionary in other people's lives. And
Right.
that's a real truth that I had to learn, and that's part of why I wrote this piece, right? Like it was like this idea of like liberation is letting go. It's letting go of that control of the the outcomes and the expectations around me. So yeah, I'm trying to control the outcome, right?
Right.
So for you, Nisi,
Okay.
what are some like what's like one big truth of like in life that you've learned that has kind of like been an epiphany for you in some way?
It's probably very, very basic, but the whole death is inevitable and you're never ready for it.
Hmm. Hmm.
But then you're also respecting the circle of life. I don't know. I'm still in a weird, really, really weird place about trying to understand death and grief and loss. And we've had some pretty deep discussions about it.
Yeah.
And I'm not, making this on a bad slope, but like it really begs questions, and especially when you incorporate belief systems and things into that, and you're really trying to navigate. Well, what is that? Am I making sense towards that end?
Yeah, definitely. I think, and you just, I think,
It's
how'd you
the
phrase it? You
weirdest
said
thing to
this is really
navigate.
simple, but I don't think it's simple at all, or
No,
basic at all. Like I think
no.
it's one of the most complex things, right? Because you're talking about something that we have no idea what's on the other side of it. That's that's the scariest part of it. But at the same time, when you can, like you just said, right, like that, when you can believe that it's inevitable and it's going to happen, does it give you some kind of peace from understanding that or feeling that in the moments when you do? I'm going to say, because I think that those are things, and just like with me, like I think the idea of control, I go back and forth. It's never just like I stay in this one place always. So I don't know if that's how it is for you, but like if it is, when it gives you peace, what is it about that?
It gives me peace when I imagine whatever I imagine happiness, or I imagine, the fact that there is no pain.
Mm.
I've actually even had vivid dreams at some points where, I imagine, or I dream, or have a very, very vivid dream of what, you know, um, an ideal maybe, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing what the actual reality is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But it's the faith almost in it.
I haven't figured it out. It's you know what I mean? Like it's so touchy. It's so weird. So
Yeah.
weird. But
Yeah.
yeah, I even most recently had purchased a book by Stephen Hawking that sort of goes into that realm, and haven't quite completed it yet. But I'm kind of curious about it. I'm kind of curious. It almost provides a sense of peace
Mm.
to some measure, not closure.
I don't think life is about finding closure though, because there's so many things you can't get closure on. I mean, that's my thought, right? Like, I don't know
Right?
if
No,
you
I
agree with that or
agree.
not.
I agree. I agree.
I think it really is about peace. It to me, that's always our end goal. Because the other thing, and like it also, life isn't about happiness.
Hmm.
Like those are things that either you have no control over, right? Closure is not something you can do, especially when you're talking about death, right? There is nothing that
Right.
can be solidly given to you to close that experience for you, right?
Right.
But to hold on to peace allows you to respect the emotion, have the emotion, but also allow for you to kind of, it sounds like, right, you're able to see the person you love in a good place. And that is giving you peace.
You've
That's a
nailed,
beautiful thing.
you've nailed it. Actually, it is trippy. It
Oh,
is.
God, yeah. All of it, right? The living and the death, all of it, right? The concept of life as we know it is super trippy, for
Right.
sure. For sure. And that could be a whole nother conversation.
Right.
It really, really could. Okay, so we're about to close it out. Um, I'm gonna go wild card here. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Where am I going here? Um, okay. If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be and why?
Hmm. I think I'm gonna go with the generic to an extent, or the overplayed, but I actually would be interested in being invisible. I would.
Okay.
I think that would be, and to borrow Jaws word, trippy. I think it would be actually trippy to sort of navigate that.
Hmm. So if you were to imagine being invisible, how would it be? Like what? Like I was curious because like there's different levels. Like when we're talking about superpowers, obviously like cartoons and like and movies come into mind in superpowers, right? Like so, how does invisibility work in your imagination?
Walk through a couple of doors. It's like they always show like the invisible man or whatever. It's like walking through some doors or whatever. I think that would be kind of that would be wild.
To
That
walk
is
through
so
doors.
weird right now
Okay,
for me to
now is
answer
there a
that.
part of you that's curious about like is invisibility also the ability to be able to be like a fly on a wall in a place where you're not
Absolutely,
supposed to be?
that's actually where I was going next, to roll up on people, kind of figure out, how they're moving.
Hmm.
That's nosiness, isn't that?
It's total nosiness. Actually, speaking of which, it just took me back to, there's nosiness that's like, obviously there's a superpower, but I was just thinking, I watched some TikTok and or something, it was some video someone posted. I think they were even on this network who posted it, but it was this woman who had given her boyfriend, it was a meme. She's watching him in his living room. She was like, I'm watching my boyfriend from the scented candle I gave him.
I think I actually saw that. And he was working out or something.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, he
yeah,
was just
yeah. I
working
saw
out
that.
in this restaurant.
Wow.
I was like, oh, that's like, yeah, that's like some crazy invisibility effort trying to do at least.
Yeah, when I say nosy, just, face level nosy, not, not MacGyver it, you know?
No, no, I'm
No.
not saying that Nisi's trying to. No, that is not what I was saying. Yes, no, not that level of nosy. It just
Not
reminded me of that in
MacGyver
terms of like that connection. I love that. So it's so funny. Like for me, and I think like this to me is like I've never changed it as many times I've ever been asked. This is like a question. I know it's like, how often do you get asked this question? It's probably why you're like, why would you have to answer it often? It's a question we ask in my job a lot to like, it's kind of like an icebreaker, right? Like, which
Right.
superpower would you have if you had a superpower, right? And so I've answered it a couple times to model it for people. But for me, it's stopping time. It's the ability to stop time. I don't think it's changed. Like I was thinking, I'm like, do I want something different? I mean, it'd be cool to fly, but like, nope, I want to stop time. Like I want the ability to stop time because I want the ability, like when you have a great moment, to savor that great moment for longer than it is. And I don't know if there's, or maybe control time because I want to be able to speed up those not so great moments. But I think it's less about that because going back to like our whole conversation, right? Healing requires
Sure.
us to go through pain. Like we can't heal if we don't experience the pain. We can't actually get better if we don't think about what we need for ourselves or like process our own stuff. So speeding up time doesn't actually really come in, but I would say definitely like to stop time and be able to savor the good moments. Virginia Slim says the power to mute all noise. I value silence and peace. So if I could instantly shut people the fuck up, I'd be in heaven.
You guys have beat. And that's completely on code for Slim.
I love it. That's fucking amazing.
That
And
is
yeah,
hilarious.
Jazz says, I think I'd choose to fly. All right. Okay. Anybody else in the chat? Add your thoughts in. What would your superpower be? Let's chat it.
I don't watch comics or anything, so I didn't even think about the whole stop time thing. That's dope.
Honestly, I don't even know if any superheroes can do that. I just know
Oh,
that's what I would do as a
I
superhero.
look. I'm not into this whole Marvel comics thing. I'm
I'm
so
not
behind.
either. I'm not either. I've been grandfathered in it by my son. Let's be honest. My 20-year-old son is like, I mean, he's tried to like give me like whole lessons with charts and things of like, and which is, and if you were to ever connect DC and Marvel, I think today we had a conversation about Aquaman and some other character that also
Right.
swims that's in Marvel. And I was like, wait, but I thought that's DC. He was like, oh my God, that's Marvel. And I was like, all right,
Uh-oh, blasphemy.
I know, like I don't know. I don't know. And I know what I don't know, and I don't know comics. And I'm okay with it. I'm
Yeah.
okay. I know enough stuff to be okay with not knowing some things. Um, so wait, I saw a comment in here. Virginia Slim says, BG, what I told you, I have a device in my hand that captures moments in time. That's yes, it does. And I have many of those devices too. But to stop the moment, not just capture it, right? Like stop it and savor how it feels and like the moment. But yes, I know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um
Oh, my face tells everything. Okay. Next.
All right. So we know your superpower. We know your healing. We appreciate that you are giving so much. And like, and honestly, Nisi is not like, she's not fronting when she says that she supports others and that makes her feel good because you can see it. Like, I am so appreciative of you because you have been like my solid supporter in all of this stuff that I even this crazy show, like honestly, total full transparency. Now that we're like at the end of the show, y'all can know. I was supposed to have a guest on, and she is coming, Lakeisha Covert, who is a gosh, my brain just totally went blank. She is a life coach. She also helps you with total organization. She's got a channel. She does a ton of different things. She's in education, and I know her through Unbound Ed and like the master of pumping the audience and all the participants up. She can
Wow.
get 800 people moving and grooving and into the like the energy in like no time whatsoever. She's amazing. Lakeisha Covert, she's going to be on the show later. She wasn't able to be on here today. So instead, I reached out to my queen here, my fellow ranting queen, and she totally pulled up because she is that person who supports and definitely supports the blogs and all my other ventures and crazy
And
ideas.
likewise, and you do the same. And I'm most appreciative of you. I'm definitely for you and of you. So definitely.
Well, I truly appreciate that. And I have to say that I think all of this goes back to really Mr. M, Logic, if whatever you call him, I call him Ja, but he
I
is
call him that too.
seriously the visionary master of this network. If you
Yeah.
are not following the iRant network or Ranters Union, please go and do it because you will see some amazing people who are doing some dope things in so many creative ways. I'm Brown Girl. She's reading Ranters, but we've got Mary Jane, who's going to be on here originally, who has a show and she interviews dope artists. V Smiles has her own show and she's on here too. She was going to be with us today, but I know she wasn't able to pull up. So just definitely go and follow all of these people. Follow, and those of you who are from the Ranters Network, we salute you. Like we truly salute you. I have only been in this family for a year and a half now. Like literally, I started. It was exactly a year ago at your house in 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 Columbia
Maryland.
Beach, Maryland, right? Like it was the awards show that John invited me to that got me to be able to be a part of this, and I have not met one person who doesn't support. Like I saw J58 in here, Kennedy was in here,
Absolutely.
definitely Steph Got Jokes was in here, right? We got Virginia Slims, we got Jersey Jen,
I'd
and of
be
course,
remiss if I left out Kalila,
oh, of
my
course,
queen.
and of course, Kalila is amazing.
Yes,
Just One Love, Kalila,
yes,
you
yes,
got to
yes.
follow her too. Much love to all Ja and the whole Ranters Union family. We love y'all, and we love
Love
you
you.
too, Kennedy. And there's so many other people you got to go follow. All of them. You got Living Yushay Reviews. He's also on here, and just so many people. Go follow and support us all, and be back here next week. We've actually got a really cool treat because I think we're going to be live at maybe at the beach. and
Yes.
and it's definitely going to be some dope conversations. If you like today's conversation, join us for the next one.
Great
And
content and great people.
always great people and good music and good vibes and good energy, because that is what it's about, and it's about building each other up, which to me is always really important, and to you too, right, Nancy? Like it's all about the community.
Let me just answer Slim real quick because I'm reading this.
Yeah,
Reiki, I don't, yeah. I'll talk to you offline on that one. Reiki, I think, is mind over matter. I really do. I think that, but it's my understanding. Doesn't Trini actually practice that?
I don't know if it's Reiki. She does not
Is that
call it
Reiki?
Reiki, but
I mean,
I
it's
I'm not going to speak for her, so I'm not sure. I know that I've never
yeah.
heard her use the term Reiki. Like she's used a lot of other terms. But she doesn't. Yeah,
Then
she doesn't say
I'm
that.
remiss in my comment. However, Reiki, I believe to be mind over matter. Someone debate me on it, please. I'm curious. I've gotten it done before. It's energy work, but I almost wonder. I don't know. That's me. I have no clue.
I don't know.
Don't
I
hold,
don't know. I don't
don't
know
hold
a
me
lot
up.
about it, so I'm not even gonna put my I'm not gonna put my foot in my mouth and try to like say anything that I don't know. Josh says
Mind.
I'm very skeptical of it, Slim, but the people that really believe that shit, I also do think the mind is powerful enough to create, but I don't know.
That's why
I
I
mean,
kind of thought it was a mind over matter. I've had it done, and I thought it was a mind over matter sort of situation.
but to me, if it's mind over matter, it seems like mind over matter is, I mean, meditation is mind over matter. Like, do you need to have that level of it? But we won't go into that. I think it's like a whole nother conversation.
Ooh, we're gonna
Jersey Jen says,
that
I'll
one
be
offline.
tuning in for more. Love y'all, ladies. Love you, Jersey Jen, for sure. And okay, so yep, yes, redemption, LOL. You can say it. Look, this is why this is called Brown Girl Interrupting, because folks come on here and we interrupt. That means we say
Yes.
whatever the fuck we want
Yes.
and call it out as it is, right? White folks do goat yoga and Reiki might be BS. Like, let's
Now I'm
be
sitting here
honest.
talking, I might try it.
And with that, peace out. Thank you for joining us. Please be back here again next week for a live show where we are going to be killing it with some dope people from the Ranters Union and Network, as well as tune in on September 11th. I've got Brandon White, who is another good friend of mine from the Unbound Ed family, but he is a producer of the podcast The Complexion of Teaching and Learning. So I like to go back and forth a little bit. Sometimes we talk about education, but he talks and breaks it down. We talk about history and the impact of history and racism in all the layers that it comes out with all the different groups that it's impacted in teaching and learning. So you don't want to miss it. That's September 11th, Sunday, 9:00. And remember, go subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, that bell. Make sure you get all the notifications so you are here when we go live every time. Make sure that you have gone to my website, www.browngirlinterrupting.com, and go read my post. I think it's pretty dope. I actually kind of like it. So I don't know. I mean, like,
of course it's dope. Of course.
I think it's a good one. It's going to teach you something. It's going to help you get some insight on you, on me, whatever it is you want insight on. It's called Liberation is Letting Go. And we all just need to let the fuck go to all the things that hurt us and find peace together as a collective, as we support one another and show up and just keep moving forward every day, recognizing the role of empathy for each other, because we are all going through things and all we need is for everybody to hold a little space and listen. So peace out. Thank you again, Nisi, for joining me. Go and follow Redemption Song 76 on Instagram. Go follow Reading Ranters on Instagram and make sure that you tune in. When's the next show?
To be declared.
To be declared. So
quite soon.
Sure you got to follow so you can find out.
Book, though, that's coming your way. We just haven't announced it yet. It's going to be a little fork in the road. So yeah, stay tuned for that one.
All right, stay tuned. So you got to follow her so you know, and you can stay tuned. And I will definitely update you because she's had some dope people on there. And I know there's going to be some more fire people because I'm going to be poking my head in to see who I can get on my show afterwards. So like, I'm kind of poaching, but not really poaching because I feel like we're sharing.
No.
I feel like we're sharing.
Love. It's all love. It's community.
It's all love.
We all want to see each other win.
Yes. And that, to all my ladies out there, this is the queen space because we are all queens and we are all building each other up to keep growing and learning and supporting. So please keep doing that. Be positive. Fix the crowns on anyone you've got around you and help our daughters and our young girls see the beauty of lifting each other up, because it truly is amazing what we can accomplish when we collectively come together and heal and grow. Absolutely. And with that, I think I'm going to keep talking. We'll say peace out.
My world has slowly crumbled around me countless times, and every time I rebuild with the pieces I've been given to birth something so transformational and beautiful that no one else knew might exist before it was shown to them. These moments tend to coincide within my romantic path. The universe has been telling me to focus on the revolution and not romance. It has over time given me the tools, resilience, and light to turn my pain into power. And only now do I see that the key to this always resided in the love and knowing I had in myself, not from the external sources of family or men. The message I have been avoiding might be that my time in this world I had existed in was not to receive love, but to put it out there for others to see, feel, and heal through. Revolution before romance moves pain into power.